So the tool stand has more progress. As you can see, I now have pins to put in holes on each side in the corners that go in through the 2x4 on the outside and into the 2x4 frame on the edge on the tabletop. I used pocket screws to attach everything. I used, including the 2 layers of plywood. Each layer is pocket screwed into the sides. Only the inside layer is pocket screwed into the bottom. I got the wheels on using a set of hinges. There's a set here that will flip up and down, and then the blocks along the side are to, and I don't know if I can get this with one hand. There's one. There's the other. So without the tools on, it's still light enough that it's very easy to do that, and it's then nice and sturdy. So then put it back, just lift it up, slides it out, and it rolls fairly nice. Here you can see this is 5/16 rod that goes through the 2x4s and into the frame on the table on both sides. And then, as covered before, there's a 3/8. That's a 5/16 round stock. This is a 3/8 threaded rod that goes the whole way through the table to the other side, and that holds the top together such that it doesn't just fall outward, and the pipe that's inside the top doesn't come out of the bearing that's in this block. But yeah, these go in fairly well. I'm going to eventually have something that I can just drop these down into along the side. I didn't get that far. But assuming I can back up enough that this works, you can see it's a little bit of a friction, but it rotates nice. And assuming I can get this in, each one of the holes, when you flip, goes into a hole in the unit. So what I ended up having to do in order for that to work correctly and not cause problems and not have massive pain for measuring is, on one side, when it pins together, it goes in one of the holes, and on the other side it goes in a different hole. And the way I did that is I just put this at a different distance from the end, and that way I don't have to worry about, okay, did I get the right hole, did I get the not right hole, is it going to work? I just drilled a second hole in the tabletop. It did not impact the structural integrity at all. Yes, there's a little tiny hole, but you can see how nicely that spins. But yeah, this should go right in. Yeah, so it works. And the wheels work well enough that, granted, it was before I did this, I just had it temporarily clamped. But it works well enough, I was able to run down the street about 5 or 6 houses to show one of the neighbors who's also doing woodworking that, hey, look, there's progress, it rolls. So, yeah, so these pins work really nice. And yeah, I'm gonna eventually put a little hanger here. Let's see if I have somewhere, assuming I can get to it without falling over. So what I'm going to use is this kind of thing. This is with one of those sliding lock bolts, like for gate doors and such. But I'm just going to put that or something similar to it along the side here, and then when these come out, this is going to be a challenge. I can just slide it down through, and then that'll hold it on the side, and that way You know, I don't have to worry about where the pins went. The other thing I did do, I made a little notch on each of the front pins. So theoretically, I might try and mix up the front and back pins on one side, but hopefully I'm going to leave them on that side and not carry them all over the place. It really shouldn't matter. They're straight pins. The only difference is there are slight length differences. So there's different lengths holes. So worst case, if I get it confused, I'll just have to... There's only 4. I'm fairly certain I can figure out which one it's supposed to be. But yeah, it's working good. It's very sturdy. And the goal for this weekend was to get this to a point, as you can sort of see, it's a little distance from the wall. But with one hand, and assuming I don't run into stuff sticking out, it goes right back to the wall. And then I could just lift it up, flip the sides down, and it will sit there. And it is in fact just behind that line where it's supposed to be, so it fits correctly. That line is supposed to be there such that I know where the car can pull up and not cause problems, because the car comes to about here, somewhere in here. But yeah, I think it's going to work. Next weekend, I will now that it at least, the goal, as I said, the goal for this weekend was to get this in place, because I don't have anywhere, due to the limited space in here, I don't have anywhere to put this if it's not in space, in the right position, and still get the car in the garage. So because this actually rolls and you could actually put stuff on it, I can now reshuffle things a little bit and actually get the car back in the garage. So that's going to be a big plus. But yeah, definite progress. I got to work next weekend, like I said, to put in the bottom shelf and make these a little bit easier to engage and disengage. I have some ideas on that. Some of it I saw other people do online. I think I'm just going to put a wire or something in between, such that if I pull on the wire, it's going to pull them up or towards the center, and that will disengage it. And then I'll have to figure out how I'm going to do it putting down. I may do some actual solid pieces. I saw some other people use solid pieces in sort of like a T shape. So when you disengage or pull the T shape, it pulls that and pulls these up, and when you push the T straight, it goes straight. In any case, there's a bunch of different videos on how to do that kind of stuff. But initially I thought I was going to have to put a crossbar and just put a vertical, and then I realized if I just have a little piece here, as long as it doesn't torque too much in this direction, which that's the one worry I have when the wheels are down, it does try and torque the hinges slightly, which hinges are better. The best way to use hinges is vertical, so it's pulling. Torquing it doesn't do quite so well, but again, it's only torquing when the wheels are down, and that's not going to be the normal state for it. The normal state is the wheels are up, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. But yeah, worst case, if the little screws pull out, because I just used mostly the screws that came with the pack, I'm just going to drill through and put bolts. Then it's not going to move. Just get some 1/4-inch bolts and run that through. That should work fine. But yeah, it's definite progress. I can actually use it as a stand, and that's awesome. And I can also shove stuff underneath here. Probably that mess there, since that's where that was sitting before. I can always put that under there until I get the shelf. And I definitely have the top. So yeah, I'm very happy with this so far. It's a combination of ideas from all over the place, but I don't remember seeing anyone do something quite like this. They've done similar things, but nothing quite like this, because this is 46 and 7/8 inch wide for the part that spins. Usually they do single tools. This is going to have 2 tools spin. Again, same idea, but lots of fun. And it's a fun project too. I don't have a high subscriber count currently, but that's okay. And so I don't normally do plans, but if anybody does want measurements or something, just leave something in the comments and I'll write something up. Again, there's tons of people out there who have all sorts of detailed plans, and I really doubt someone's going to want to make something just like this. But yeah, we shall see. Hope it was enjoyable. It was fun to make so far, so yeah. Thanks.